I can turn everything into gold. Even though we live in the same house, my parents and I are like strangers.
Goodbye, Hunter. We'll be back someday.
My name is Andrew. It's always been like that for as long as I can remember. Mom, we need to pay the kindergarten.
Well, get a job because I won't give you money.
Wondered, what had a poor child done to only want to be cared for and loved by his parents?
Why have we never done anything interesting with that room? Oh, right. It's the kids' room. How annoying.
In case you don't know, you ruined our lives.
I don't know how I could move on after something like that. I was so young. Luckily, I have the best grandmother in the world. Hello, Grandma. Hello, Aunt.
Do you want some lemon pie, son?
Yes, Aunt Anna. My Aunt Anna is my grandmother's best friend and is like the mother I never had. She had always been very cheerful, but one day everything changed.
How was school?
What's wrong? Why are you crying?
Your aunt went to the doctor's yesterday for her usual appointment.
The illness has come back.
You just have to continue your treatment, right?
It's already spread throughout my body. There's not much that can be done.
I felt like my world was falling apart. How much time do we have left together?
The doctor told me it could be a week or a month.
What?
But definitely less than a year.
I felt helplessness, wishing to be able to do something, but it was useless.
Let's go to my room. I'd like to show you something. I have no one else in the world except you. You're my only family.
Aunt?
It's important that you don't open this box until I'm gone. I know you have many questions, but trust me, there will be answers.
My grandmother and I didn't understand anything. My Aunt Anna was always very playful, and she enjoyed seeing our confused faces, but this was very strange.
Now let's wipe those long faces and enjoy the time we have left.
We spent the rest of the afternoon chatting, laughing, and telling stories. The following week, I visited my grandmother and Aunt Anna again, but I wasn't prepared for what awaited me. What's going on? What's happening?
Go to your aunt's room. Hurry.
Grandma,
Andrew.
what's wrong with Aunt Anna?
She just smiled at me and said,
See you soon. I love you both.
The next morning, my grandmother brought the wooden box that Aunt Anna had given us, and we opened it together.
I think it's time.
What?
Don't you ever get tired of surprising us, Anna?
Dear Elena and Andrew, if you are reading this, I am no longer with you, but I have something very important to tell you. You won't believe me, but my great-great-grandfather was a great alchemist. So successful that he was one of the few who achieved the coveted formula to turn everything into gold. He wrote everything in that old book. It has passed from hand to hand through my entire family until it reached me. But along its way, envy, jealousy, and greed were destroying us. The Limentor legacy dies with me, but I know that you will know how to use this information correctly. The ingredients can be very difficult to find, so I also leave you the last objects that I could transform with what little strength I had left. And remember, it transforms not only metals, but anything that comes into contact with it. Be careful. I love you both. Thank you for being my family.
Everything was very hard to believe at first. After the funeral and once the pain became more bearable, I started working with the book. I read it carefully. It was written in Old French, which was another difficulty. I didn't leave my basement for days. It's not like anyone missed me at home anyway. It took me a while, but I managed to make a list of all the chemicals I would need. There were 7 in total. When I tried to obtain the 6th element, I faced another obstacle. What? Are you serious? Where am I going to get that amount of money? I'm so close. I can't stop now.
Shut up. We're watching Doge Story.
Whatever. Mom, Dad. It wasn't the best idea in the world, but I couldn't think of anything else. I told them everything about Aunt Anna. I asked them for the money and promised to give them all the gold they wanted. You'll be able to go on trips whenever you want.
You're just as crazy as your grandmother. Now I understand why you get along so well. Haha.
I really can't stand this kid.
I thought all was lost, but then I remembered the objects Aunt Anna had left us. I was so preoccupied with the book that I completely forgot about them. Hello, I'm Andrew. Can I speak with Mrs. Elena? When we sold the objects, my grandmother bought a beautiful house for both of us. We set up a laboratory in the basement and I continued with the experiments. But even with my progress, I still couldn't achieve the damn formula. What's wrong? All my work, if only my aunt were still here. I was giving up, but I went to check the wooden box once more to see if I could find something to help me. Look, Grandma, there's another note inside the envelope.
What does it say?
I almost forgot. My great-great-grandfather never wrote this in the book in case it fell into the wrong hands. Look at the bottom of the box.
The secret lies in... I followed the instructions and a transparent liquid very similar to water resulted from the mixture. When I submerged a feather in it, it transformed into solid gold. Grandma!
You did it, Andrew.
There was only one thing left to do. I know is wrong, but I wanted revenge and see the look on my parents' faces when they saw me succeed. I went to my old house and as usual, it was empty. It had been almost a month since I had lived there and they hadn't even noticed. I returned to the laboratory and carried out the transmutation. I couldn't wait to see their reaction when they opened their messages and saw my success.
Are those our magnets? They look amazing.
Was Aunt Anna's thing real? You're a genius. I'm so proud of you.
I didn't plan on answering back, but magically they started to miss me and worry about me.
We need to catch up, son. How about we meet tomorrow?
Where are you, son? Let's celebrate.
Is this for real? Now you're responding to my messages? And just so you know, I found a place to live and I'm not coming back.
What are you talking about? Of course we knew. We just didn't want to invade your space. You're our favorite son. Son, answer me.
My grandmother and I had moved, so it would be impossible for them to find us. The perfect plan.
Son, your mum is coming over here.
What? Grandma, no!
She told me she missed you a lot and wanted to apologize for everything.
They just want the gold. My parents could do whatever they wanted. I wouldn't change my mind. I'll get it, Grandma.
Son, how are you?
We missed you so much.
Thank you for taking care of him these days, Mom.
It was as if they were other people. They began to apologize to me for everything, and they told me that they had been going to therapy for some time to address their issues and to become better parents and build a real relationship with me. I didn't understand what was happening, but for the first time in a long time, my inner child felt understood and listened to. This is the living room. This is my room, and this is the laboratory my grandma and I set up to work on the big formula.
Oh yes, the formula.
I told them in detail about the whole process. My parents were very proud of me. So far, we've only transformed a few things, but we don't want to abuse it. And Anna told us how her family went crazy for money, so we have to be careful.
So does this turn anything it touches into gold?
Yep, anything. Why?
Well, I think you can finally give back a little of what we've sacrificed for you all these years.
What? Seeing the expression on their faces snapped me out of my dream and brought me back to the life I had since I was a little kid.
Did you really think we were going to be the perfect happy family?
I was frozen, unable to move, just watching my parents argue over the formula, but my grandmother's voice snapped me out of it.
It's mine!
No, I sacrificed my body.
And I sacrificed my party night.
Be careful with that.
I didn't care if my parents wanted to destroy each other, but my grandmother was innocent in all of this. Grandma!
Andrew,
Mom! Dad! 10 years have passed since that night. My grandmother and I still live together, and although she probably doesn't have much time left by my side, she is at peace knowing she will reunite with Aunt Anna. As for my parents, I suppose they can imagine what happened to them. Somehow they got all the gold they wanted and a little extra help.